Join the group of people impacted by seriously simple stuff to get you unstuck. The first book by Tony Coach Curl. Available at Amazon, Tony's Simple Stuff provides the tool for people to master your life and aspirations. 20% of every book sold supports Carter's cause.
Hey there, it's Tony here, and welcome to episode 101 of the Coach Curl podcast. Today I'm coming to you from the wonderful, beautiful beachside town of Yamba on the north coast of New South Wales. And today I'm sharing with you it's okay to start again.
Way to go, guys. Way to go. Keep it going. Good job, guys. All right, Paul. I see you. All right, Travel. Finish on. Coach Curl.
Great job, guys.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 101. As I said, I'm coming to you from Yamba, and Yamba is absolutely beautiful this time of year. Anyone that knows the northern New South Wales coast of New South Wales, you will know the little town called Yamba, and we come here every year and we just have a wonderful time. But I came to a realisation today. I came to a massive realisation. I'd been for a run where, as you know, training for the Chicago Marathon this year, which is going to be an incredibly exciting event. But after going for my run, I went for a surf, and I went for a surf yesterday. Now, for those that don't know, I've been a surfer most of my life, and I started surfing when my parents moved to Maroochydore at the ripe old age of just like 9, I think I was. And, you know, I've been a surfer pretty much ever since. But one of the things that tends to happen, unfortunately, is that there was a stage there probably going back 10 years where me and my young fellow was surfing just about every day of the week. Now, you will hear some wind noise. You will hear some noise from the campground as we go through this particular podcast, so please bear with me. I'm just sitting here on a beautiful Wednesday morning in Yamba. It's just absolutely delightful. But there was a time going back 10 years where I was surfing probably every weekend with my young fellow. We were heading off from Brisbane to the Gold Coast and really enjoying father and son time, but also enjoying getting out in the water. And like everything, the more you do something, the better you get. But what I've found over the last couple of years especially, and especially in the last 2 years, as I've become more focused on my role and my job and the purpose that brings to me, focusing in on going for runs as opposed to going to the beach. I really find that my time in the water is severely limited. In fact, the last time I went surfing was this time last year in Yamba. And what I found is that, you know, I'm being an open and honest reflection of myself. I'm back at beginner level. Today I felt really I felt really bad. I felt ordinary in the water. It's a different level of fitness to surf than what it is to run. My shoulders were aching. My lower back was aching. But worst of all, I couldn't get a wave. I just couldn't get a wave. I could see where they were coming in. My board was right. The mindset was still right. The mind was still saying, Tony, I've got to be in this position. I've got to paddle now. I've got to get to my feet like now. So all of those senses and automatic functioning that we have was still there. But the reality is that I couldn't catch a wave to save my life. And it was really frustrating. It wasn't an enjoyable surf. It was certainly a frustrating surf. But what I realized by doing that is that I actually have to go back to beginner level. I have to go back to acknowledge the fact that in many ways I've got to start again. I'm not surfing anywhere near as much as what I used to be. And I think that that's the real challenge for me. I've just got to get in the water more often. I've got to do exercise and I've got to do fitness work that will help me in the water. So I've really got to sit back and look at this like I'm a beginner again. So it's one thing to think that you've got it all covered mentally, but the reality is unless those automatic functions and the fitness levels are where they they should be, I am really going to struggle to surf. That's the reality. That's what I'm facing. So I gave myself permission today to go back to beginner level, which is really all I can do. So if I really want to enjoy what surfing is all about and what it brings to me from a personal enjoyment space, I really just need to go back to beginner level and really focusing in on the basics, really focusing in on the basics. Paddling, fitness, maybe even just going for some body surfs just to get that feel of the water again. So, but today was a real eye-opener, because how many times do we decide not to go back to refresh, rehash, rework? Even today in the Coach Call Academy was day 8 of our 30-day content writing challenge, and day 8 is really about creating and providing a website platform for you to put your content on. Now, if you've already got a website platform for your content, the reality is that there probably wasn't much in today's lesson, because it was talking about, the WordPress platform. We spoke about some of the plugins that you certainly needed to have, but so the option was given, go back and refresh some of the work that you've already done in the content challenge to make sure that you're well placed to be able to move forward with that. And when we start moving into content writing, and I just thought to myself, I wonder how many people would do that, or how many people would just say, well, today's a bit of a waste of a day. And in fact, how many people do go back? I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear the amount of people that do go back and refresh and really set themselves up for that writing aspect that we're talking about. As from tomorrow, we start writing content in our 30-day content writing challenge. But how many times do we go back and refresh? How many times do we go back and think like a beginner again and go back and do some of those basic things that we know we should be doing? It's a rare occurrence that we accept that maybe we just say I'm not good enough anymore and just stop doing it. But the reality is, when we think back to all the enjoyment, especially me and my surfing, when I think back on the enjoyment that I always got from surfing, there's a really strong need for me to go back to some of those basics. Otherwise, it's going to be a frustration. I'm not going to enjoy it, and I'm not going to do it. So today I gave myself permission, and I'm giving you permission. Where are some of those mastery tasks that you do that you need to go back and refresh? You need to go back and rehash. And maybe next time someone says we're going to start from the beginning, don't roll your eyes and start with a sigh. Think about the positives that can do. Refresh, rehash, bring you up to date with some of the new basics that may be out there in whatever field it is that you're enjoying. So that was my learning from today, from the beautiful beachside spot of Yamba here in northern New South Wales. I hope you are having a wonderful and amazing start to 2019. As per always, just podcasts wouldn't exist without my team at Think and Grow Business. Think and Grow Business, we're improving the performance of people in business by strengthening mindset, leadership, and ultimately their business. Don't forget, seriously simple stuff available at most good online retailers, and 20% of that particular purchase goes to support the work being done with Heart Kids Australia. A fantastic organisation and Carter's cause. As per normal, a big shout out to all those people that provide feedback and the reviews for our podcast. I really hope you enjoyed podcast 100, our celebration, our best of album, so to speak. So if you miss that, go back and have a listen to it. There's some real great insights there just for you. Next week, next episode, I start the journey, another journey with Matt Bailey. We've got 2 podcasts coming up that we've got chock-a block filled with lots of Matt's thoughts around his music, his life. He does, I suppose, in the second episode, talk a lot about, in his words, ripping the Band-Aid off. He really allows himself to be vulnerable. So I'm really looking forward to getting them out. I hope you're having a wonderful time. And as per normal, live today stronger, braver and wiser. And don't forget the golden rule. Just don't be an arsehole. I'll see you next time.